Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we're going to do 3 more new fall embellishments. We're going to start with a couple of templates that I have worked up for you. The first one is going to be a small mason jar. Now I have created a small one on my Cricut. This one is 2 inches tall. And I think it's cute, but it's just a little bit small. So I worked up my next one. I worked up on a piece of scrap paper. So you could also have this possibility to create one of your own. So I've taken a piece of just scrap paper, and it is 1.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches high. We're going to fold that on the short edge. We're going to fold that right in half. Okay. Just kind of burnish that down. And holding it with your opening on the right hand side, go ahead and take a ruler and we're going to mark this. Oops, let me grab the other end of my ruler so I can see it better without that tape on there. We're going to come in and we're going to go 1/8 of an inch down. Okay, just like that. Maybe I can bring you in a little bit closer so you can see. I'll just have to remember to bring you out so that, all right. So we're going to come in 1/8 inch down and make a mark for 1/8 inch. We are going to also come in, let me just measure this. I got 1/8 inch down and 1/8 inch in. Okay, so it's going to be just a little square there. So I think that's going to be about right. Let me just make sure that that's an 1/8 inch square. And it is. Okay. Then at that 1/8 inch, we're going to come down about a 1/16. Just kind of eyeball it. And we're going to make another little mark, just a small one. And then bring that up and almost like a little, we can erase our one line like that, okay? And I just erased my 1/8 inch mark there. You're going to come down about that much again, straight, like so. And then we are going to come down, oh, what did we come down here? 3, is it 3 inches? 1/2 inch. So from the top, mark at a 1/2 inch, just like so. All right. We're going to just kind of round this out from here to there to make the rest of the neck of our bottle. So we're just going to kind of round that out, meeting about at that point that we marked. Okay. And on the bottom, we're just going to round that off. Now, if you want to use a corner rounder, you can. I'm just going to do it with my pencil. So I'm just going to create that rounded out edge just like that. Let's go ahead and cut this out with our scissors. All right. Very simple. If it doesn't look right to you, grab another piece of scrap paper and do it again. It doesn't matter. It's just scrap paper till you get one you like. And then that will be your template. So I'm just coming in here and I'm just cutting those out. And I'm just being careful because that one little spot is smaller. You can make these any size you want. This is just the size I wanted for this. Okay, so now that's kind of blocky. I'm going to erase that so I can see the edge of that paper better. There we go. They're kind of squared off. So let's fold that back up and just try to round those edges off slightly. Okay? The jars won't be so squared off like that. So just, I mean, it's just a tiny, tiny bit. Okay. If I can get it to move there. Just like that. Okay, now let's open that up. There. You can see they're rounded up there. That's our basic jar. So let's go ahead and get that down on a piece of paper. Let's see. Doesn't matter which one. let's go ahead and just use this orangey color here. This is just a scrap piece of regular cardstock, textured cardstock. I'm going to draw on the back so I don't have to worry about erasing. So I'm going to take our little jar. This is the one we just created here. And you can put it either way. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to put it on there because it really doesn't matter. And the easiest way to do it is kind of line it up on your flat edges if they're flat. That creates less cutting that you have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pencil mark around all of our little edges here. Nice and careful not to move my stencil. Whoops, like that. But I can put it right back in place. There we go. If you want, you can make your first one into a on like a cereal box, so it ends up being a stiffer stencil. There we go. So that is our permanent one here. So let's go ahead and just cut that out. Now you can save the line if you want, if that's easier for you. Or you can take the line. Okay, all right. We don't all have die cutting machines, and we don't all have access to everything. So some of us, you know, I have the Cricut and I have a hand crank die cutting machine, but still you don't always have the dies, or you might not have access to all the things on Cricut. So this is another option for those who don't have that ability. So there's our jar. Now, to create a separate top for the jar, like I have on these ones, all you do is come in with, let's see here. I've got some scraps here. Let's go ahead and we'll do the same thing. We'll use this one. This is just a scrap piece. I'm going to take my same pattern that we did. Again, I'm going to put it on the back here and bring it up to my edge. I want this exactly the same size. So I'm only going to start just below my little round out things there, and I'll show you in a second here. Okay, let me lift this up. So I didn't start until right here. Okay, so we just have a little tiny bit of that neck. That's going to be hard to see there because it is got a dark spot there. Let me line that back up so I can make a darker mark there. Okay, there we go. All right. And then I want to draw straight across from there because I don't want, whoops, that was crooked. I don't want a very big lip. I don't want to come up past those little nubs there. I want it to be below like this one. See how it's just a tiny, can you see that? Just a tiny little lip on those. So when I put it on there, it stays down below these two little nubs that stick out. See? Okay? All right. So I'm just going to cut this out. Now, if for some reason it ends up a little different than the other one, when you go to put it on, you can trim the little excess off, whichever one you need to, okay? Don't panic. It's okay. We can trim it off a little. I got lucky with my other one when I hand cut that one out that it lined up perfect, and I can see here that something's wrong here. Something's not right. There we go. So let's see what we got. Yeah. All right. So pretty close, pretty close. And I can see I'm off a little bit. So what I'll just do is once I glue this on, then I'll just come and trim off my little spots that aren't even. So we can do that right now. Let me go ahead. I like to smudge my edges. And this I've got carved pumpkin here, distress ink. And I'm just smudging my edges, and we'll go back and do it again after I trim off, but this gets most of it. So let's go ahead and just glue this one on. And come as close as we can to where we need to be. Okay. Okay, there we go. So you can see here, there's just a tiny bit there. And then there's a tiny bit on this corner, not much at all. So I'm just going to go in there and I'm just going to trim those off to match the other one. Okay. There we go. That's it. Smudge, 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 and we have another jar. Okay. All right. So for the second template, I created a coffee cup on my Cricut, and it's these like portable coffee cup type shapes. Okay, so these are done in like a base, nice orange. The color that's showing is not the actual color that they are. It is more of a pumpkin orange. This looks like a really faded out orange, but it's not. And this is actually copper, and it doesn't look copper. It looks gold on the screen. All right. So what I did was, again, because I wasn't real happy with that size, and I wanted to show you how to create a simple template for one, is I took another scrap of paper. This scrap of paper is 1 3/4 inch wide by 2 1/4 inches high. You are going to come down let's see, it's in 1/8 of an inch, down 1/4. So I'm going to get my, whoops, I'm not even in, there we go. Sorry about that. So again, 1 3/4 inches wide and 2 1/4 inches high. So you're going to, again, on the short side, fold it in half, burnish it. I'm going to bring my ruler in, and I want it to be 1/8 of an inch deep, so this way, and 1/4 of an inch down. Okay, so I'm just going to make a mark there and there. So it's 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch going in this way, and 1/4 of an inch down. Then you're going to make another mark. Got some stuff in my way here. My ruler's long. Okay. So we're going to line up with this one, and we're going to make another mark and bring it out to the edge of our paper, right from the tip of our, geez, oh Pete, I am way off here. Here we go. So I'm going to hold my ruler back here, and you can do it up here, whatever you want, but I'm just going to hold it in line with that. And I'm going to make a mark that goes back to my opening of my paper. I'm going to come down 1/8 of an inch and make another mark doing the same thing. At the junction of this mark right here, where it comes in 1/8 of an inch, I'm going to make a little mark here, okay? That is, you can put a circle or just use your mark, however you want. At the bottom, we're going to come in 3/8 of an inch and make a mark at the bottom of our paper. We are then going to go from our little mark here down to our mark, our 3/8 inch mark at the bottom, just like that, and we're going to draw a line. Okay? See? So 1/4 of an inch down, 1/8 of an inch in, another 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch in, and then 3/8 of an inch from the edge here. This is our opening. 3/8 of an inch in, make a mark, and then you're going to draw a line from this mark here down to your 1/8 of an inch. Okay? Let's cut our cup out. Very simple. Just so simple. Boom. Okay? That is how easy that cup is. Okay, there we go. Let me open it up and you can see the cup. See that? Okay. So now we're going to close it back up, and again we're going to round off these edges because it doesn't need to be that far sticking out. They don't stick out that far. So probably, I'll measure it here. Hang on. Let me get it lined up here. Okay. I want to say, yes, about a 1/16 of an inch. So when you're done rounding it off, it'll be about a 1/16 of an inch in. And once you open it, you'll know if it looks like about what it should be. Okay, so that is your cup. Now you can slightly round off your corners here. It doesn't take much, just a little tiny bit. And you can see, there you go. And if you feel better doing that with pencil first, go ahead and do that with pencil. Now for the band that's going to go around the cup, like that is on here, you're going to take just another scrap piece. This is flat. What I did was I come in here and I lined it up with about where I wanted it to come down on my cup. So this is, and I can bring my ruler in here and I'll tell you how far down it was. This is 3/4 of an inch down from the top of my cup. Let's get in here where you can see it better. Okay. So from the top of my paper here to the top of this piece of paper is 3/4 of an inch. So you can hold that there. And then on my paper that I'm going to cut, I went down another 3/4 and I made a line. Okay. So we're going to mark, I'm going to hold this here at 3/4. And what you would do is make a mark on your paper at that edge and a mark on your paper at that edge. And then you're going to come down 3/4 of an inch and draw a line. So I'm going to put my ruler on here, 3/4 of an inch, draw a line. Okay. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to, because I've got my, let me show you here. Okay. So 3/4 of an inch. Because I've got a mark on each side of my little cup here too, when I bring this behind, I can line that up right to those 2 dots there. See, I've got a little dot there and a little dot there at 3/4 of an inch. So I just put my template behind and I can see my 3/4 inch line there. So now all I have to do is line those up, line my 2 dots up, and then I can bring my ruler back in and make sure everything's lined up. Bring my ruler into those, my line there behind that, see? And I can make a line there. So my template, okay, so I got my 3/4. So then I know that this is my line because I'm going to draw from there to there. I'm going to draw my lines along the side. Okay, so easier way to do it. I know that sounded really confusing. I'm sorry. Okay, so grab your paper, 3/4 inch down, make a dot and a dot. Okay, dot, dot, and make a mark on each of those. Bring your ruler in, make a 3/4 inch line on your paper. Boom, line. Bring this back in to here, line up your dots, and draw a line on each side down to your 3/4 inch line. Okay, that's going to be your cup cover. Okay, so just cut that out just like that. Okay, perfect. And then that will be your little cover for your cup. So let's get that on a piece of scrap paper here. I had a piece over right here. Let's put it on this one. Let's see here. I think, yeah, I can get it right on there. So I'm going to go on the back and draw it. I want the checked, so I'm about right area. Okay. So I'm going to draw this out. And again, I'm on the back. so I don't have to worry about erasing it. Oops. All right. I'm going to have to move that camera back out because I keep putting myself back out of view. All right, so then I'm going to draw it out just like that. I don't want to drop these on my things I've got sitting here ready to go. All right, so there's our cup cover. Our cup, we're just going to come in here. I'm going to flip my paper over. That, oh, here's the one we just used here. So I'm going to line that up at the top. So I'm at least starting with a flat edge. Draw my lines. Okay. And again, you can create whatever size you want in these things. It's totally up to you. Whatever size you want. I just thought that if they're embellishments, to me, embellishments should be a little smaller. So, at least I like smaller embellishments. Some, I guess, would be a little bigger, but there we go. There's our cup. Come on in here. Put on our little band. Whoops. Too long. No worries. Watch. Boom. See how quick that was? A little crooked there. There we go. So there's our band. Now what I would do for this top part here, you could cut a little strip, but what I would do is just come in with a colored, oh, what have I got? Let's see here. Here's the one I think is pearly. Maybe, yeah. And I would just, yeah, that's going to be too light for you to see, but I don't think you can see that very good. No. So I would come in with just like a colored marker, and I don't have one right offhand here. Oh, wait, here's a gold. Here's a gold. There we go. And I would just bring that in like that and fill that in. Okay? Just like that. Okay? And this pen here is just one of the markers, Crafter Square from Dollar Tree. It's a metallic marker. It's just gold. So there we go. That's the idea for that. That's if you don't have a machine. All right, let's move on to getting some decorating done. As you can see, I have quite a few things laid out, ready to go. I like to have a multitude of things kind of handy. Not that that's all I'll use, but make sure my glue gun's on. There we go. It's been plugged in, but it has a tendency to shut off. All right, so I have prepped one little one here. Like I said, these ones were 2 inches tall. Yes, 2 inches tall. And I just took some of this little orange burlap and I cut a little piece. Happened to be like a little 4-inch square. I'm going to move you back out so I do not continue to be out of view there. There we go. There, that's better. Okay. So I just cut a little 4-inch, or a little, like took 4 of the squares and created them. And then I can just glue those on with my art glitter glue. And as you can see, they're just little, get it up there. I'll hold it up there in a second. I'm just going to place that about right there. See right there. And the art glitter glue dries clear, and it is enough to hold this down. Otherwise, you can use fabric tack or something like that too. I just didn't want to use my hot glue for that because it's a little hot. All right. So I have, where did that go? I don't know where they went. Oh my goodness sakes. Okay, well, we'll just get a couple more here. Oh, there they are. These are just, I have this twine here. For the life of me, I can't find my regular twine. Well, this is very heavy. So what I've done is I've just cut off little strips and then I peel it into threes because it's so big. So I'm just going to take one of those little sections and I'm going to tie this, hopefully. There we go. Maybe. Come on. Stay in there. It's very tiny, so, and my fingers are not. There we go. So let's do that, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of hot glue behind there to hold that to the little spot I want. There we go. Just a smudge. Just a smudge of glue. Just like that. And we'll let that set up while we tie up this other one. And you can make it longer, but I don't know. For some reason, I just don't like to waste materials. So it makes it harder on myself. But even though I've got plenty, it just, I don't know. I have a hard time with waste. Throwing things out. All right. So there's another little dab there. And like I said, I just put a little smudge of glue on there. We'll let those set up. Now that that's set up, I'm just going to come in here and trim off those little edges I don't need. And then I have some of that same stuff I made into tiny, tiny bows. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue down on the back of those bows. I'm probably going to move my glue gun back over here where it's easier. So I don't have to keep turning around. I'm going to put that on my left-hand side of that there. A little bit extra glue there I don't need. There we go. All right, so let's move the glue gun over here. There we go. All right, this one's dry, so let's go ahead and snip those off. All right. And I have another little bow here. Whoa, sorry about that. Pretty noisy. Okay. There we go. That. Now I took these little flowers. I sat for most of the day prepping. So it is 3:22 here right now, and I started prepping by probably about 7 o'clock this morning. So even though it looks very simple, it takes time. So don't think that just because it all looks so simple right now, it took me that long to get everything prepped. So I punched out these tiny flowers, and this is just a, I think this is a Hobby Lobby punch. It's just a tiny flower. So I punched a bunch of those out in different colors and some pattern paper, and then I used my little foam mat and kind of pressed them in. Now, if you don't have the little ball tool, the dollar store has some ball tools you can purchase, or you can use the back of like a pen that's like rounded. Make sure it's smooth. Don't use anything sharp edge, and you can do that with those tools too. I also created some 3-dimensional butterflies with this punch. And this is the EK Success Punch, and it does 3 different, it does a solid, and then one with a few little punches in it, and then one that's more punched. So I used that punch. I also used my leaf punch, and this is a Paper Studio leaf punch. And of course, I did all my cuts. These are little scarecrows that are from a stamp I have, a fall stamp, and then those are embossed. And I've got some also these little words that say fall blessings. That's from one of my stamps, and those are also embossed. And I've got these other little things from the ends of the papers that we can use. Okay, and then some other little leaves and stuff that are buttons, and then I popped off the backs of them. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll decorate one of these too. I've got a longer piece of twine here, so let's go ahead and put that on there since we've already got this one here. I'm just going to, because that's longer, I'm just going to tie that in a double knot, and then I won't have to put glue behind it. Maybe. If I get my fingers to work. There we go. And then I can just trim those off like that. There we go. Just another little bow. A bit of glue right on that knot. There we go. All right, for that one, I'm going to put on just a little bit bigger piece of burlap. So let's just go in here like that. And you can just pull out the edge there like that. Makes a nice little square. Perfect. So let's go ahead and put some of our art glitter glue down on there. Just like that. Just adds another little texture element to that. Just something different. All right. Get that to set up there. There we go. All right. So let's pick some of these little flowers here. And then on the center, I just took some green halfback pearls. It's kind of a mossy green. And I took those and glued those in with my art glitter glue. So let's go ahead and give these just a little bit of glue and set some of those in there. Like so. It's tiny, so there we go. Nice cute little embellishment. And this was all made from scraps. Even all my cutouts and everything were punched from scraps of paper that I already have out that's already cut up. So I didn't take up any new sheets of paper at all. Everything was scraps. I like to use my scraps. Let's do another yellow one here. There we go. There we go. So that is those. Let's bring this one in here. I think I'm going to use some of my other roses here. These are a little bit bigger. I'm going to use my scissors. For the life of me, I can't find my nippers. I used them this morning and not a clue where they are. So we're just going to use the craft scissors. We're going to do orange. We're going to do one of these deeper reds. And then we'll do this golden color. There we go. Working threes. And then I also want to bring in one of these butterflies. Let's do the double butterflies. These are two. I just used two, and then those are three. So let's go and use this 2-1 here. And let's go ahead and set that right down there like that. Perfect. And then we can get our flowers on there. And again, when you have elements underneath, don't worry about covering them up because it's still a textural element. It still peeks through and you still see parts of it. So don't worry so much about covering it back up because you will see little peeks of it through here and there. I'm going to get these there. Isn't that cute? I wish the colors were showing up the way they were, the true colors they are. Okay, perfect. All right. And then later on, I will decorate this one like that too, okay? So let's go ahead and get going on the coffee cups I have here. Because these are bigger. I'm going to use the scarecrows on here. And I'm going to add a layer of glue on the back of each of these. And I'm going to let that set up a bit. And that's going to create kind of some height there before we put on more glue, okay? Just a little bit, just like that. And I'm just going to lay them down here, upside right. And then I think I'm going to use a couple of these. I'm going to use the fall one. It says fall on there with the little pickup truck. I am going to use this one that says autumn. And I'm going to use one of my fall blessing ones. Okay, so let's just get these prepped while that other is drying. I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to make a small banner here because this one is really close. All right. Just a little bit. Okay. Whoops. All right. In fact, I think I want this one brought up to the center more here. All right. Come off there. I don't have to do nothing to that one. This one I'm just going to kind of get to the edge there. Yep, like that. Come up to the center. I have some big banners on it. Okay. Like that. All right. And we're just going to come in and just smudge them with a little bit of color here. Voila. Well, that one's already smudged. All right. Those look like they're, yeah, it's tacked up. Now I can touch it. See, now if I just left that, that would be a little bit of, but we're going to add some more glue to that. Okay. So that'll raise it up just a little bit more. You could use pop dots. You can use your excess chipboard. I quite often do that, but this is handy. Gives me just enough. There we go, like that. We're just going to do that to all of them, right on top of where I did before. And we're just going to place our scarecrows on. Glue strings. I got some glue strings. Imagine that. And let's just do you right there too. Okay. So you can see some dimension there. All right, we're gonna pull some feet and stuff up. All right. So do we want to use, let's use some of these ones here. All right, so we've got the button. I want to get a butterfly in there on these ones because they're big. So let's get the butterflies going here. I think for this one, I'm going to use that butterfly. I'm going to use the gold one here. Well, maybe I'll use this one here and the gold one there. Neighbor's dogs. So let's just add, dab of hot glue there and set that on. And same here. Dab of hot glue. It doesn't matter if they hang over the edge a little bit. Okay. And then we can use a couple of these littler flowers again. First I want to get on my leaves here. So let's go ahead and use some of these leaves. Okay, as you can see, I popped off that button there. Okay, got the chocolate one there. Let's do a red one there. Let's do burgundy one over here. And then we have, there's glue strings all over. Let's just glue on a couple of these little flowers here and there. Okay. Now these could be glued on with just your art glitter glue or your favorite kind of glue, but I've got the glue gun here already, ready to go. Let's put a gold one on there. Now what I don't use, I'll put it in my stash, and they'll get used on other projects. Even if they don't get used this year, they will be used up next year. So I never mind having the extras around. I don't feel like I have to use everything that I put out. Okay, we got 2 of those. We got a butterfly. Let's get our tags in there. All right. I'm going to round this one off. This is a little long, so I think I'm going to go over top of my scarecrow, like so. Okay. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here. And put that right down here, like so. Got it. And then put another dab of glue on the back side there. Just a little bit. Doesn't take a lot. And then I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to keep the autumn. I'm going to keep this bumped up, and I can smooth that out a little bit once this dries. I can get back up under there with my scissors and kind of round that out. See? There we go. See? It's got dimension. There. There is one. And let's see here. I think I want fall blessings on this one. But where can we put that? Where do we want that? Strings. How about yeah, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue here, just like a smudge, and I'm going to put it right, ouch, right across here like that, just like that. Okay, there's that. And then this one we're going to do, let's put that one up in here. Just kind of like that, I think. I do want that. Yeah, we're going to go right across the corner there, so I'm just going to put a dab in the middle here. And bring that in just like that. I want to be able to read the word fall. There we go. Just like that. Oops. So for my last one, I have just punched out a 2.5 inch or 2.25 inch scallop. You can use your Cricut machine to cut a scallop. You can cut a circle from around a glass, whatever you have handy. Don't feel you have to use a scallop. It can be a circle. I just punched these out in a kind of a dark red, a chocolate brown, and then a nice orange. And we're just going to add some elements to these. So let's go ahead and add, let's just start with our butterflies. So we'll add a couple of butterflies here. Oh, a butterfly short, but that's okay. They don't all have to be the same. I used my other butterfly on that one. So I want some color in here. Let's get, let's use some, oh, this is just some eyelash twine that I got from the dollar store. They have it, they have like little bundles of yarn and stuff every once in a while in their craft department. So I'm just going to cut some of these off. It's tangled up. It's not, I mean, it's in a tight ball, so I don't know where the end is. I just grabbed and pulled and cut. So I'm just going to kind of wrap this around a couple fingers like that. And I'm going to glue that in the center. I'm going to kind of pinch up the middle like that. Put some glue in the center. This is going to give me a base of just kind of decoration. Don't worry about any glue that might show because it's going to get covered up. And then that gives us a nice little something different. Right? Okay. In fact, I might be able to just do it around one finger because it is so shaggy. There we go. Get in there. Okay. That. Yep, one finger works fine. Just wrap it around one finger because this is very long. So you can see where I cut it. It's like starting to kind of leave little bits here and there. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right. Just trying to wait to see if I can press on it. Okay. So let's go ahead and add a butterfly. We can trim down the excess. So I'm going to add a butterfly in the center here. Now that's not going to glue my wings down. We can adjust those later. And here, and I think we're going to put this one on this brown one here, just like that. Oop. Let's bring in a couple more of these roses. And we'll bring in some little flowers too. And these ones I didn't give much thought. I just cut the scallop and thought, okay, I want a scallop. Other than that, that's all the thought I gave it. So if I'm grasping for things and like, oh, I don't know, it's because I literally don't know. I'm just going with what looks good to me at this moment. Okay. So let's get you turned around there. Wings, something like that. What are we going to do with you, my dear? What are we going to do with you? Let's grab a piece of this orange since we've already got part of that cut off there. Peel some of these off of there and add that on the center a little bit. Okay. All right. And I'm going to grab some of my leaves here and then just start putting some leaves on. Here and there. I'm just kind of curling them up a little bit. Like I said, everything was punched and cut from just my scraps. So just get some of these on there. In a layer. Just to get a base layer going. Just like that. Okay. Got my scissors. I love doing the tutorials, but like I said, they are time consuming. So it has to be a labor of love because they can eat up some hours. And these are just more of the simple things that, you know, you can do. So let's get a couple of these little ones in here. You start getting into the more elaborate things, and that's even more time, sometimes days I spend on projects, but I love it. I'm not complaining. I just don't want you to have, you know, misconceptions about how it looks like things are, because it does take some time. Okay. And right now I am back to taking care of my granddaughter. My daughter's back to work. And so that's 9 to 10 hours a day. So, but I cared for my grandsons when they were not in school. So I feel like, I just don't want her going to daycare, really. Just so much stuff going on out in the world that just kind of scares me. Now, those ones don't show us up as much on the orange, but they're there. It's just another layer. Just another layer. Okay. Put that there, and then let's throw on some of these. Okay. And I think I want to let's stick this green leaf in there somewhere. About right in here. Go. And then let's see here. I've got this leaf here. This button. Let's go ahead and put this button over here. Like so. Yeah, that's cute, isn't it? You see that? Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's add one of these little bright orange flowers into here, just as a different element. And let's add this gold rose into this one. I have more red roses too. Let me see. Do I have one handy? Do I have one handy? There's one. Okay. We'll put that in that one too. Bring in some red. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So there's one. Okay. There's two. And there is three. All right. That is our embellishments for today. And you got 2 new patterns that you can create. A coffee one and a mason jar one. So, like I said, you can make these any size. You just, if it doesn't look right to you, take another piece of scrap paper and do it again until it looks right for your eye. What appeals to me and appeals to you with your eye might be slightly different. So I'm just trying to give you another option for those, especially that don't have a machine. Sometimes I will use my templates just because it's faster and easier for me to grab my template out of the template box, throw it down on my paper, cut it out, and be done. I don't have to haul out my machines. I don't have to get my computer out and lay it out on a mat. So sometimes I prefer just to use my templates also. So don't think that just because I have all these machines that I don't use my templates, because I do. I like my templates, and that's why I create them, because I like creating them because I use them personally. So thanks for coming and joining me today, and I hope you give this a try. And go ahead, give yourself a try at making a template. You know, start with the mason jar one. That's pretty easy one. The coffee mug, that one's pretty easy. Go ahead and give it a try. If you throw away a piece of scrap paper, you throw away a couple pieces of scrap paper. You can use newspaper, magazine, whatever you have handy. Just as long as you can see your pencil lines, you're good. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I can't express in my heart how it makes me feel that you guys subscribe to my channel and are curious about what I'm up to. It just warms my heart and it makes me so happy. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you're not a subscriber, please do so at this time. Go ahead and hit the red bell, or I'm sorry, the red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. When the bell pops up, hit that bell and you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. And as always, friends, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.